and today I'm doing a video how to make hot dogs, or to say, be specific, how to grill a hot dog. There are three common types of ways to cook hot dogs that most people our age use. Grilling being one of them, of course, microwaving, and then boiling. I've only boiled a couple times when camping. I don't like it that much, but some people are different. I have a buddy of mine who likes it more sometimes than grilling. But yeah, it's a pork grade product, so I'm using gloves. These are cooking gloves that a lot of use when cooking with meat. I use them at work sometimes I'm cooking with meat. So yeah, I'm using Nathan's Famous. They are famous because they're Nathan's. So yeah, I do like my hot dogs darker, but not too dark. I do like them to be darker than most people wanted. A lot of times, it depends how people like it. Some people who like them not dark, they like really light. My family like it dark. My mom likes it dark too. And yeah. Some of you guys might be wondering, how did hot dogs get a start in the United States? Well, in the late 1870s, Charles Feldman, a German foreigner who was looking for new opportunities in the United States, so were a bunch of Europeans at the time, came over to New York, to be specific, which is where a lot of Irishmen, Chinese people came. A lot of people came over. Germany being a lot of people too, and Polish. So he came over, had the idea, hey, I'm gonna open up these small carts just as a source of income on the side, see how it goes. You never know. Started doing it, it blew up like crazy in New York. I mean, how many times in a movie with New York in it you see a hot dog stand and someone's talking about it? And then, of course, over time and time, hot dogs have just grown to be a nationwide business, a known thing about the United States. Actually, in 2018, 3 billion people spent at least money at the superstore because of hot dogs, which means they were buying hot dogs. 3 billion people in the United States. That is crazy. People like hot dogs, but 3 billion, that is a lot. These are almost done. Yeah. Personally, I'm going to show you after they're done cooking. My personal favorite is Chicago dog. Been to Chicago once. Had a bunch of Chicago dogs when I was there. It was really, really good. I've always loved them. So I'm going to take you guys inside. I'm going to show you how to make those, what condiments best to use, and everything else. Thank you. Now we're going to talk about my personal favorite hot dog, the Chicago dog. First, we're going to begin with the origin of the Chicago dog. It all started back in the Great Depression. Basically, these suppliers wanted to find ways to make money. So they did that because the big businesses they were a part of failed. And all these German and Dutch people who immigrated for jobs were struggling, and then they also wanted to help provide for penny-pinching families. So they came up with hot dog stands, of course, they're in New York. Chicago was very cheap with meat, unlike at the time, compared to other cities like New York, Kansas City being one of them. And so basically, they all thought, okay, well, it's a well-balanced meat. They can use the pork, and then they also can mix in vegetables, spices, etc. And yeah, so first we're going to start off with the condiments. As you can already see, I put some onions on there. Yes, diced white onions are part of it. Some people may not like that, but a lot of times it's kind of just, you have to do that, just kind of get the feel of it. All right, you have full dill pickle. You're going to put that right between the bun and the hot dog. Put that, I'm going to do it on both too, just to show comparison. All right, now we have homemade relish that my dad makes often, so I'm just using that. Put more of it kind of on top, and then put some more over here. All right. Next, cilantro. This is something I add to it, just add a little more flavor to it. You never know. And so add a little cilantro. Remember, all this stuff was being put onto these hot dogs because they wanted to find families wanted to find ways they can group like vegetables and meat together without having to pay a lot of money and paying for like separate thing. All right, this is celery salt. This is also a common thing used on Chicago dogs. So here, you don't get a lot, you just need a little bit. It's not something you use a lot of Kind of just a little dabble on there, not too much. All right. Then you want to. We're gonna wait to use the peppers last. You want to go with mustard first. Shake it up, make sure. All right. Kind of drills one out there. I'm a big mustard guy, so I like a lot of mustard. But it's completely up to you. Again, Chicago dogs are completely, like, their toppings are pretty much up to you. This is like what I personally would want on my Chicago dog. All right. Now, get some peppers. Just put a little, I don't put a lot of peppers, put a little bit. I like to put them like on like the inside parts, where the pickle, like the opposite side of the pickle, the other side. And there we go. So, some of you guys also may be wondering, how are hot dogs made? First, they're selected out of meat and pork, and basically they're all kind of mixed together and put in a big blender. And then they usually cut those into small pieces, so it comes out in like a big chunk. And then they kind of like form it, and then through a machine it slides out, and they kind of cut it into like hot dog size, pretty much. Of course, each company is different, so they can be big, small, little, and yeah. Most popular hot dog brands use silicone casings, which are later removed. Some hot dogs have natural casings, but those also cost a lot more for companies. So most companies stick with the cheaper options to help save money. And of course, yeah, I mean, this is the Chicago dog. This is my personal favorite hot dog. Today, Chicago style is actually the most beloved like kind of hot dog in the United States. Sports fans love using them. 4th of July in Chicago, these things are everywhere. Even at 4th of July in the United States, these things are just everywhere. And of course, we're not the only country that does hot dogs. A lot of German cities use them, sorry. And so we kind of get that inspiration from them. And of course, this is mine, so try it. It's the best. Alright, thank you so much.